Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing an all drugstore full glam holiday makeup tutorial, and as you can probably tell it involves a lot of makeup, but it's all affordable makeup as well, so I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, and please give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe. And if you want to see how we got this whole full glam look today, then keep watching. We're starting with eyes today, which is why I've moved in so close. I'm going to use the Maybelline eye eraser today. I took the little sponge off mine thinking that would make it a little bit nicer and cleaner to use, whereas it doesn't, because now I have to empty it out onto something to use it. So yeah, I wish I hadn't done that. And I'm just taking the concealer on a little flat brush, and I'm just going to take this all over my eyes. I'm going to take this up to the brow as well. I never carve out my brows, but this is going to be more of like a really glam look today, so why not? And then I'm just going to set that in place with some powder. This is the Insta Fix and Matte Powder. So for eyeshadows today, I'm going to be using a few from Makeup Geek. I know that these aren't available in the actual drugstore, but they are drugstore priced and they are really good quality as well. But if you've got any similar colours to these, then absolutely use them. You don't have to use what I'm using. The first one that I'm going to use is Creme Brluee, which is this one. This is going to be our first transition shade. So I'm just going to take this into the crease like I usually would with any other eyeshadow. And I know I use browns and neutrals all the time, but that's just what suits my eye colour and my hair colour the best. But I promise I am going to do a few different looks, especially for like party season, a few more different colours like greens and purples and things. So I am going to try and get some more different looks on my channel. I'm going to move on to this shade, which is Frappe. It's just a little bit darker than the first one, and I'm taking this on a slightly smaller brush, and I'm just working this lower into my crease. I personally like to use a lot of different colours when I'm doing eyeshadow because I feel like it creates a nicer gradient. And then you can just take the brush we used for the first colour and just buff out those edges. I feel like that concealer's made a really nice base. The eyeshadows are looking really rich and pigmented. Next I'm going to take Cocoa Bear, and again I'm changing to an even smaller brush this time. I'm being really good with changing my brushes today. Usually I'm just that lazy, I use the same one for every colour. And I'm going to take this on the outer corner, and I think that rich warm browns scream like holiday season and this time of year, and they are my favourite colours to use as well. And then I'm taking a mix of the first two shades that we used. And then finally I'm going to take the Americano eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, and I'm sticking with the same brush this time, and I'm just pressing this on the outer corner and into the crease as well. Then back into this brush, which has got no extra product on, just what's left over from the eyeshadow, and just blending those all together. And then I'm going to go back into that concealer on this same brush and just cut the crease a little bit. And then I am also setting that with the same powder. And then to set that in place as well, I'm going to use this shimmery shade from the Cari Bybel palette. This is the Deluxe edition. It's such an amazing palette. It's got some really nice pretty shimmery shades in there. So this one is like, it's got like a purpley undertone to it, but it's not too purple. It is quite bronzy as well, I think, so this will look quite nice. I am going to spray my brush first with some setting spray. This is the Infallible Fixing Mist from L'Oreal. I definitely feel that these kind of colours, the shimmery shades, always look better when you use your finger to apply them. And then I'm going to go back in with Cocoa Bear and just go over where those two meet. And then for the under eye, I'm going to try and do exactly the same steps using the same eyeshadows. So I'm going to start with, was it Creme Brluee? Yes. I'm going to start with Creme Brluee all underneath my eye. And I'm going to wing it out so it meets with the shadow here as well. Moving on to the next one, which I think was Frappe. Then Cocoa Bear. And then I'm just going to use this eyeliner from Rimmel. This is in the shade Perfect Plum, just to line my waterline. Then I'm taking that Americano shade and just pressing it right into my lash line. So then I've just applied my lashes and mascara. I've used the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes, and for mascara I use the Tanya Burr mascara. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glitter to the inner corners because this is a full glam holiday makeup look. So I'm going to use the Glam crystals from Collection, and this is the silver one. I'm going to try and not get it on my lashes. I should have really applied this before. And I'm just going to pat that in with my finger. Okay, so now we can wipe away any fallout which we may have. So before we do foundation, I'm just going to apply a little bit of this green concealer. This is from the Infallible Total Cover from L'Oreal, and I'm just going to pat some over my cheeks because they are quite red. I've got my little heater on in this room and it's making my cheeks so red, but I don't want to turn it off because then I'll be really cold. Okay, then for foundation, I'm going to do L'Oreal True Match today. I haven't used this for ages. I don't think it's going to be the right shade, but I'll just have to blend it and make it work. And it's absolutely not my shade. Okay, then for concealer, I'm taking the same concealer again. And then when it comes to blending this edge, I'm just taking a really light fluffy brush and just blending in the edges into the shadow. I'm going to do a little bit of cream contour slash bronze using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Beautiful Bronze. And I don't use too much of this because it is very pigmented and I find it sets very quickly as well. I'm going to set my whole face with the translucent powder that we used earlier. And then to brighten my under eyes a little bit more, I'm going to use the banana shade from this contour palette. This is the NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt, and I absolutely love this yellowy shade at the moment. For bronzer, I'm using the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Glare, which I absolutely love. Then I'm going to do a tiny bit of blush. This is Luminoso from Milani as well. And I've just realised that I don't have a highlighter out. So I'm going to go back in with this palette. This is the Bybel palette, and I'm going to take that one right there. I'm also taking this on my brow bone and inner corners as well. And I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that shade just to deepen up my contour slightly. And finally for lips, I'm first going to use this pencil, which I think is an eye pencil, but I'm going to use it for my lips. This is a NYX one in the shade Copper, and then I'm going to go over with this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Stockholm. So that completes today's full glam drugstore holiday makeup tutorial, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did down in the comments below, and please give it a big thumbs up as well if you did, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!